The problem for my bibliography was more about my writing and how I had to adapt it out of the writing spaces that we've been doing, like on Twitter, on the Twitter, all of that very informal stuff, to the APA very formal writing. Probably because I was used to saying something really interesting up front to make people want to read it, whereas the APA style, the bibliography, was more of a classic essay where you start with an introduction, you move on to the arguments, you have a conclusion, you talk about other people. It's more like a paper. We haven't really done any papers. That makes sense. I was introduced to core value number 5, which was about how I'm reflecting on my own writing. I had to change it for the writing space, which is cool, but I've really struggled with it after having it so informal for the rest of the course. And again, with core value number 1, the conventions of the writing space had changed, and I wasn't exactly sure how to change back into that. That's pretty weird, because I write in that all the time with my English minor. So I guess the switch over from one to the other made it more challenging for me. I couldn't, after what I was used to, it was hard to switch back and talk about the same material and know it was going to be published online. There was another way that it was more difficult for me, just because what we've been doing so far was talking about creating text in different style of ways, in incorporating materials like pictures and videos, and that was like core value number 4, talking about what can be incorporated into text to make it more interesting, see where writing is going outside of just the written word. But this was more like core value number 3, where you're just understanding critical materials and bringing them into your own writing. There's no real creation of material there. You're just like copy and pasting, so to say, into your own stuff. And it's kind of less creative and less interesting. I don't know. I think that was also another problem I had with the bibliography. After being able to be so creative within projects like the Twitter, all of a sudden it's down to the very strict, like, write this down on paper and now you're going to put it on the internet.